I'm going to be talking to you about how you can turn your hobby into a career. Now, I can't speak for everyone, of course, but I can speak from my own experience, and I get quite a few questions from students and people across the internet asking how they can make money from playing guitar, as I'm a guitar player. But I do believe that the principles that I'm going to go over in this video does apply for anybody who wants to turn their hobby, whether it's even on an instrument or anything, any talent that you have, into a career. But since this is a music channel, I'm obviously going to be relating to guitar players quite a lot. Now, I've written a few notes here, so hopefully I don't forget anything throughout this video. And the number one thing that I want to talk about is do what you can't. So what I mean by that is if you're looking to become a musician, you're probably going to get a lot of people saying that you can't do that, particularly family and friends, the people who are close to you, simply because they're looking out for you and they probably don't have experience in what you're trying to do. But this is your opportunity to prove to them that you can. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do what you want to do, because it's in your hands to make that decision. I can relate to this topic quite a lot, since in my teens particularly I was told that I would never be able to make a career from playing guitar and that it's just a hobby, it's not a real job. But you can't let these comments get to you, because evidently there are a lot of people in this world like me who have made their passion a career. So it's definitely not impossible, and there is no you can't. The next thing that I want to talk about is that there is no specific path or formula to success. You need to create your own path. And I think also the probability of you following someone else's path is very slim as well, unless you have somebody guide you through that path. Because everyone's kind of different and has their own agenda or circumstances, so that's why it's important. It's up to you to take a hold of this and create your path to your goals. You may not know exactly how to pave that path, but you need to do something to try. It may be a slow path or an incredibly fast path, but it is a path, and that's the main thing. You need to be building a path. And that leads me on to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that's focus. Focus is an incredibly significant principle to your success. So you need to be focusing on all of your goals, your long-term goals and your short-term goals. It's important that you have both, because you need to be hitting goals on a frequent basis to ensure that every day that goes by is purposeful and contributive to your long-term success. Don't let perfectionism stop you from hitting these goals. So you may be such a perfectionist that you never hit those goals, you never reach those goals, at least not in a short-term basis. It might take you longer than you predict to get to these goals. And that may be because you're too much of a perfectionist, and you shouldn't be. You need to accept your work in its current state. Do your best to get it as good as possible. Get that goal done and move on to the next goal. And the more times you hit goals imperfect, in the long run, the more likely you are to hit goals more perfect. But the key thing here is that it's better to do 10 imperfect goals than just one perfect goal. It's certainly more productive and achieving, in my opinion. Moving on to the next principle, I want to talk about making time. You need to make time every single day for your goals. Just as most people turn up to work 5 days a week, if you want to turn your hobby into a career, you need to be turning up to work 7 days a week and putting the effort in every single day. If it's something that you really want to do, you will find the time to make it happen. The next thing that I want to talk about is that you shouldn't be doing this for the money, because more than likely you're probably not going to get rich and wealthy from doing your hobby as a career. Unless you happen to be in an international pop or rock band, for example, that's recognized globally, then good for you. You probably don't even need to watch this video. But for those of you like me who have just grown up in a typical background, I guess, but don't want to grow towards a typical future, then you need to be prepared to live minimally, especially at the start. But that's fine if you prioritize enjoyment over money. What do you want from life? Would you rather money over enjoyment or enjoyment over money? And the very last point that I want to talk about is motivation and hunger for this desire that you have. You need to be hungry enough to take action and make this dream of yours a reality. So you need to find your motivation, whatever it is. Maybe you're currently in a comfort zone. You're quite comfortable doing what you're doing and you're kind of blowing off this career option right now and thinking, I want to do it in future, or maybe I'm not good enough right now or something, but you need to motivate yourself to become better and reach towards those goals sooner rather than later, before you get deeper into that comfort zone or life settles down. Maybe you have a wife or kids or something, but even that is no excuse to finding the time to reach towards your passion and your goals. So that just about covers everything. Hopefully you found some motivation in what I had to say. The last final sort of question that maybe I want to talk about is, now that you have the motivation to do this, how do you do it? What do you actually do? Maybe you're not so sure exactly what your goals are. You know that, for example, you want to play guitar for a living, but you don't know what your options are. And in which case, you really do need to think about this. Look around you, look at the people who inspire you most. Is that something that you want to do? You certainly need specifics. You can't really do everything, and it's certainly more efficient if you dedicate your time and energy onto one thing, whether maybe you want to become a YouTuber, maybe you want to teach guitar, become a session player. You need to focus all of your time and energy into that one thing and do it every single day, and there is always more that you can do. Always do the most that you can do and more where possible. So general moral of the video is that there is no excuses. You need to find the motivation and the passion to do it if you're serious enough. Hopefully this enlightened you at least a little bit. If you have anything to share of your own experience, or maybe you have any further questions, then make sure you post them in the comments and I'll do my best to respond to you as thorough as possible to help you towards the goals that you have. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and check out all the other cool content that I have across my channel. I'll see you in the next video.